Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Paid and Passion, where we let our passions work for us. As you can see today, we're doing a outdoorsy one. So hopefully it's not too hot for us, but we want to get as much information for you guys as possible. Thank you for being on today. Could you let us know the passion that is paying you right now?
The passion that's paying me right now, for sure. Well, my name's Chef Khalieb. For y'all who don't know me, I'm a private chef in Houston, Texas. And yeah, I do cooking. I'm a private chef. I've been doing it for about, what is it, 2026? So it's been about 8 years now, consistently. Yeah, worked in restaurants, did my thing here and there, but
Mm,
that's what I do.
yeah, now that sounds great. I would love to do like just how we introduced ourselves. I think that's like a big thing because I'm really big on networking. I think networking is a part of my passion. Just learning, meeting people, learning a lot about people, finding out people's passions is kind of what helps me get up every morning. And so, shout out to our friends Ende and Helen. They were getting married,
Hmm.
and they had their family dinner on Thursday.
Hmm.
And I don't know exactly what it was, but I think I really don't know because of course I've came across like a lot of different chefs, but you're like one of the first chefs that I really came and said. Maybe you mentioned like your passions amongst it, or I could just tell how enthusiastic you were during that time.
Yeah,
But could you at least share with us like what got you into cooking?
for sure. So for
Hmm.
me, I was in college. I
Hmm.
went to school at Texas State University.
Okay.
I was in college. I was studying business, and I was working at Popeyes actually.
Okay.
So I was eating Popeyes every day.
Yeah.
I was at the food hall eating Chick-fil-A every day,
Yeah.
and my diet got really bad.
Hmm.
I gained some weight, face was breaking out, and just wasn't feeling great.
Hmm.
And so I started to get into like cooking for myself and
Hmm.
learning different recipes, things that I resonated with,
Hmm.
which was typically like cultural foods, like
Okay.
because my family's from a country called Eritrea,
Okay.
and so like those spices and things like that were things that like made me feel at home and
Right.
also were a lot healthier for me.
Hmm.
So I kind of just got into cooking for myself, and then
Hmm.
from there I was posting on Snapchat and
Right.
Instagram, and
Hmm.
then started to grow a little bit of a following, and then after that it kind of just like grew into something more.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
what brought you from it doing something that you did personally for yourself to something that you would want to do for other people?
Kind of like the influence of the people around me.
Hmm.
Whenever I graduated, I felt a little bit lost of like where to go with things. I mean,
Right.
I had a degree in business, but it was like I didn't want to go and get a corporate job.
Right.
So uh, I talked to my friends, see what ideas they might have, and a lot of them encouraged me to go into meal prepping.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where it started.
Okay.
Gracefully, like I had parents who weren't super strict on what you had to do once you
Hmm.
got your degree. They were
Hmm.
like, just do what you love,
Hmm.
and the money will follow. And
Right.
that's exactly what I'm doing now.
Right. So you say you've been doing it for about 8 years. So how long after meal prepping did you go into actually making food for other people? I guess let's go back.
Mhm.
What is the definition of a private chef?
So a private chef, I don't know if this is the Webster
Yeah.
definition, but what I do is I cook for people in their home,
Hmm.
sometime on like a daily basis,
Hmm.
but also I work as a caterer as well too
Okay.
for your birthday parties, events,
Right.
weddings,
Hmm.
gatherings of that nature.
Hmm.
So a private chef is just somebody who doesn't operate out of a restaurant, but
Hmm.
does things on like a mobile
Okay.
contract type of
Okay.
basis.
Okay. So going back to that question before, what kind of pushed you? So, because I would assume with meal prepping,
Hmm.
you took that suggestion and said, okay, I'll start off with meal prepping, right?
Yeah,
So I would assume that that was pretty successful in a way to where you were getting clients
yeah,
and you were able to get more into your comfort zone and knowing what the industry kind of looks like outside of the chain restaurants of Popeyes and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So what kind of transitioned you from meal prepping to saying, all right, I would do this live, like private chefing. I'll allocate it differently. Like meal prepping, you at your own leisure time, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You either do your drop offs or pickups.
Yeah.
Versus, or even meal prepping could be, this is just what I think you should eat, and these are the ingredients, and I'm gonna provide this for you.
Yeah.
Versus making the food live now
Yeah.
it's a different dynamic.
For sure.
So could you kind of like describe that dynamic, the difference between those two?
Absolutely. So whenever I started off meal prepping, I was fresh out of college. I had worked in restaurants before, but I wasn't ever in the kitchen.
Right.
So whenever I graduated, I started meal prepping, and that didn't last too long because meal prepping wasn't super profitable.
Mm-hmm.
And while passion is super important, money is also important too.
Right.
So I went from meal prepping to actually staging in a restaurant.
Okay.
For those who don't know, staging is like you go and work in a restaurant, sometimes unpaid for a week, 2 weeks at a time,
Mm-hmm.
just to learn, get your chops up, and then kind of like get your skills to do it. So I ended up staging and then working in a restaurant for about 9 months. And then at that point, I was feeling more comfortable to be able to say, hey, you have an event, I can cook for your event now for 20, 30, 40 people because I know at least the basics of how to serve that many people.
Right.
And then from there, that's kind of how I got more comfortable in it, and then got into events, and then yada yada. But restaurant work is super important for chefs.
So with staging, correct?
Staging, yep.
How did you get into that? Like, is that something that you could just reach out to? Are they really open with receiving people who would want to be in that, or like what were kind of like your steps in that?
In my experience, restaurants are generally open to stages of any kind as long as you are passionate, you show that you're disciplined, diligent, and you work hard. They're open to pretty much anybody. Or at least they should be, especially in this economy. You should definitely be open to it. But for me, it was a connection of my dad had a friend who had another friend who owned a restaurant.
Right.
So it was more like, yo, just let him go work there for a little bit. But it was a high-end restaurant, and I had zero experience.
Yeah.
So for the first 3 months, I was working unpaid.
Yeah.
So that's a different experience that I don't recommend all the younger chefs to go do. I would say go get paid to do it.
Right.
Don't do what I did. I did that because I had like no experience or knowledge in it at the time.
Okay, that makes sense. So once you started private chefing, at what point did you say? Because I'm under assumption that this is still something that you want to do, but you're not 100% sure yet that you want to commit your entire time doing it. I guess with the meal prepping aspect, like you want to do it, but basically like figuring out the ropes. So what? I'm trying to like pinpoint the point where it's like, okay, this has been like a big step forward to where I don't want to go back, or I don't want to fall back on what I potentially could have done. I don't want to go back to. You don't want to do corporate, but corporate is something that you have in your bag. So there's a point where it's like, okay, now I'm 100% sure this is what I want to pursue.
Yeah, it kind of happened. So this was around like 2018 when I first went to that first restaurant to go stage. It was like 2020.
Okay.
It was like March 2020, like pandemic time.
Okay.
And so by this time I was like catering. I was working in restaurants part-time.
Right.
I think back to those times that I don't even know how I was doing all that at the same time. But I was doing it, and then the pandemic hit and everything stopped.
Right.
So I lost my job. All my catering contracts fell through. And I was like, damn, like I don't have anything going right now. Why did I choose to be a chef? Like now I don't have anything to do. So during that time, that's when I really did some self-reflection. Of course, like everybody else, I was spending a lot of time in the house by myself or, with family. And yeah, I got into the thought of thinking like I can either pick something else to do or I can keep going.
Right.
Yeah. And I just decided like, this life is like we only really get one chance at things.
Right.
You can pursue something that makes money for a certain amount of time, and then after that you build the savings, go into something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
But I just truly believe that tomorrow is not promised. So if you're passionate about something, pursue that thing immediately and don't look any other directions.
Right.
Having a plan B is like, that means that you're not fully into plan A. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's take it a step back into like your childhood. What did you imagine yourself getting into, or like what kind of what did you see yourself getting into like in those middle school, high school years?
Man, I was aimless. I
Mm-hmm.
was aimless in middle school and in high school. I was really into music.
Mm-hmm.
I like to like freestyle rap. Like we used to do that a lot in high school on the bus and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I was pretty aimless. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. All I knew is that my brain was like art
Mm-hmm.
centered. I was
Okay.
more into anything having to do that's art related. So
Right.
music,
Mm-hmm.
painting,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. I had no idea that cooking was
Right.
something that I wanted to
Right.
do.
And I definitely like how you mentioned like how supportive your parents were,
Mm-hmm.
especially with you deciding to, you have your degree, choosing to do whatever you wanted to do with your
Mm-hmm.
degree. And I think that's something that's very important. What has been one of your aha moments, one of your I'm glad that I pursued this and I'm receiving the fruits of my labor.
Ooh, I would probably say the biggest one was 2024 during South by Southwest in Austin. I was invited to participate in a cooking competition
Okay.
called America's Next Top Black Chef,
Okay.
and uh, I was really like at a point where I was just like, I really want to make something out of what I've got going on,
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing a lot of back and forth catering in Austin and Houston, and I got an opportunity to enter in the competition, and I really just did my thing, like
Mm-hmm.
just did food that I was passionate about,
Right.
and I executed it to the
Mm-hmm.
best of my ability. And it was a tough competition, but I ended up winning, and then got a huge like check for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually like physically like a
Yeah.
huge check, that
Yeah.
whole like cardboard check,
Yeah.
and yeah, just being able to take that and then bring that check back home to my
Mm-hmm.
parents and show them, like
Yeah.
that was like chef's kiss.
So what kind of preparation goes into things like that? Because well, I don't know about like all the viewers and stuff like that, but I definitely grew up like on a lot of chef shows, and I think
Yeah.
I would necessarily say like our era had like the more dominant chef shows, to be honest. 'Cause you have
Oh,
like
for
Top
sure.
Chef, you have Hell's Kitchen, you
Chopped.
have Chop, you have so
Yeah.
many stuff that
Yeah.
obviously I don't know what was going on before us, and I
Yeah.
really don't know what the updates on like the new shows now.
Yeah.
But at least I know those shows weren't just. I mean, those were really popular shows. Just
Yeah.
even if you weren't interested in cooking, just for like the drama and things like that. But
Yeah. For
what
sure.
is like the preparation that really goes into
Yeah.
competitions like that?
So it's kind of, I mean, it's more or less like that. Like one of those like competitions, even if it's real life and it's not being filmed like
Mm,
that. Like it's intense.
mm,
It's like got to get stuff done in time,
mm,
and got to make sure things are right temperature,
right.
like food temperature wise, and make sure the quality is on point for those things. So
Mm,
it's pretty intense. Like it's high stakes, which is kind of like how it is in the actual kitchen of most high
right.
end restaurants too.
Mm,
Like you ever see that show, The Bear?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that show for me wasn't 100% accurate, but was pretty
Yeah.
good at depicting what the
Mm,
energy is like
mm.
in those high end
Very
kitchens.
dynamic. Things are always on go.
Yeah, very high intensity. You
Yeah.
got to be ready for high intensity.
Mm,
It's like you got to be an adrenaline junkie to
right.
really thrive in those
Right.
environments,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like for like cooking competitions.
So, was there anything in your childhood or just before that kind of prepared you for like high intensity, or I mean even cooking and like patience? I'm trying to think of like those skills that you do need with cooking, like definitely patience.
Yeah.
Definitely well, I don't know what, I guess you can also talk about the characteristics that you would need
Hmm.
as a chef, but was there anything that kind of prepared you that
For
you didn't notice, obviously at the time, but looking back, you can say, okay, this situation or this upbringing or this situation kind of prepared me for. what I'm doing now?
Mm. I would say the training in the restaurants is what prepared me for
Okay.
anything. Like once you go through working in those high end
Mhm.
kitchens with
Mhm.
the chefs that don't tolerate any
Mhm.
bullshit,
Mhm.
after you go through that, you're pretty much
Yeah.
good to go
Yeah.
anywhere, you
Right.
know, because it teaches you about like being thorough
Right.
in everything that you
Mhm.
do, like really
Yeah.
within your mind, and then
Mhm.
also like not to cut corners
Mhm.
because it's easy to cut corners,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
anybody can cook,
Yeah.
but if you cut those corners, then it makes a big difference in the
Mhm.
final product.
Mhm.
So yeah, like the kitchens that I worked in, they taught me everything. Shout
Mhm.
out to all those people.
Mhm.
Shout out to like everybody who taught me and didn't let me
Mhm.
slack.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think that's even like a life lesson within itself. But I can definitely see anybody can cook.
Hmm.
Everyone has the ability to cook,
Yeah.
but it kind of goes back to like those those funny trends that they got now, where it's like you got there's a demographic that cooks everything on high, but you know that you can't cook everything on high just
Yeah.
because you might want it to heat up quicker.
Exactly.
That's may not be the best thing to do for that certain type of food.
That's a perfect
Like a
example
steak
of
and
like
things like
cutting
that.
cutting corners. That's what it is right
Okay,
there.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. What is kind of like your future ambitions within this industry? I
Yeah.
mean, we're gonna get into like where we are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is a great thing as well.
Yeah.
Just being outdoor, and I can definitely see all. It's not. It's more than just cooking. It's like going back to the art.
Yeah.
Going back to the art. There's just so many dynamic foundations,
Hmm.
low and high within it.
Hmm.
So, like, what are some of your like? You don't have to say all or any really, but like, where are you
Yeah.
trying to go
Yeah, for
with
sure.
this?
I can talk about like one thing that I'm working on this year is my first like piece of documented like
Hmm.
a actual mini cookbook.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on a cookbook series because
Hmm.
I'm really just trying to like educate people
Hmm.
about different ways that we can cook and fuel and nourish ourselves
Hmm.
in healthier ways,
Hmm.
and also like those techniques that I was taught growing up, I'm sharing in the books and in my content as well too.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully if things all go according to plan before holiday season this year, I'll have that first copy of that book
Okay.
ready to go.
Okay.
So that's one thing I'm working on, just kind of becoming more of a vessel of
Hmm.
education for the future generations and teaching them what I've been taught and just sharing my gift
Yeah.
with them. So as far as that goes, just yeah, just
Yeah.
sharing education.
And again, this is what this platform is all about. I work in education,
Hmm.
but I understand that education is not only the books and academic aspect of it.
Yeah,
It's definitely like just learning and knowing more for yourself.
yeah,
So I definitely love that. And again, these aren't things that everyone can attest. Like this is stuff that we even talked about beforehand. It was like, okay, yeah, you're a good person that I want to interview. I kind of already saw something. I really don't even know what. I really don't know. Like I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to him and like try to pursue this even more and make it more intentional about this.
hmm,
And I think it's definitely great that not only do you just love your craft, but you want your craft. You don't want to just hold it for yourself. You
yeah,
want to be able to show other people that this is what you can do with this craft, and not just for let's make some good meals, but this is what you can do for your body. This is what I learned, me personally, that you can't get from anybody else,
yeah,
because it has my own twist to it. It has my
yeah,
own experiences into it, my
exactly.
own culture in it, into that. So how much of an impact does your culture have with the food that you make?
Oh, all of it,
Hmm.
all of it. A lot of people ask me like, "What kind of food do you make?" But because I'm part Eritrean descent, my father's from
Hmm.
Eritrea. I make Eritrean food.
Yeah.
No matter if it was like spaghetti or
Hmm.
fried chicken, like it's
Hmm.
gonna be Eritrean because of
Right.
of who I am and who I come from.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about like where we are and
yeah, for sure.
what we have out here?
Yeah, for sure. So right now we are at Kefita Coffee. We are an Ethiopian coffee shop, Ethiopian coffee shop here in the middle of Houston, right in the heart, Midtown. And yeah, we do a lot of things here. We host multi-purpose events, but also we share the culture of Ethiopian and Eritrean coffee and culture and food here as well too. And it's also a community space of sorts as well too. Like right behind us is the homegrown the community garden where we grow vegetables and stuff like that. Some of which I use in my own cooking too. And yeah, it's an amazing place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice. And how long have you been? Do you work here or is that?
I do work
okay.
here. Yeah. I've only been working here for a short period of time, but I came here. The first time I came here was I was popping up and selling food here, and this was 2021. So it's been about 5 years. So yeah, but the coffee shop's only been open for 2 years. So yeah.
Okay, I like this space though.
Yeah,
I like
man.
this space. We're gonna talk about this. I would love to do a little event here.
Definitely got to collab with the space, man.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do you have any advice for any pursuing chefs? Again, not this platform. Just again going back isn't necessarily just for those growing up. We have a lot of people who are, they are working a job or they are doing anything, and they might want to be pursuing something else at any age.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for any future chefs or anyone that's interested in going into the culinary space? And just some good tips for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, number one is you don't feel inclined to go to culinary school. I don't think that's necessary at all. I've seen amazing chefs do their thing with no culinary education. Go work in a restaurant. Please go work in a restaurant. Like don't do the whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm a chef and I'm doing this and that, and you've never worked in a restaurant before. If you want to cook, go work in a restaurant. You get paid to learn. People are paying to learn the same shit that you go and get paid to learn. Go work in a restaurant. And two is just like, take the shit seriously. Like if you really wanna cook, you really wanna do this shit, like take it seriously. Just if you're passionate about it, be passionate about it. And if not, then just do something else. But like, yeah, it's cool, it's fruitful, and yeah, it's a great field to be in.
Do you have any advice for me in pursuing again, my goal again is to meet and expose and express all type of ways that people are showing their passion. So it's like, you're one chef that I've interviewed. I can interview every chef that I could and potentially would interview will all have like a different background with everything. You know what I'm saying? What someone will get from this video won't be the same thing that someone else gets from another video. So just any advice for me or anything that you could think of?
Man, I don't know. I feel like that's a good question.
Yeah,
that's a great question. I don't know. I feel like you're doing a great job. This was a good interview. Like the way that you ask questions is,
I appreciate
it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But I don't know. Just like,
if nothing, that's cool with me too.
Yeah. You did a good job, bro.
Just
keep doing your thing. Sure. Keep asking questions. Keep being curious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro. I see a lot of good things coming your way in the future.
I appreciate it.
For sure.
And I just got one last question
What's
for
up?
you. What comes at the end of the rainbow?
Man, pot of gold. That's the only thing that can come.
Pot of gold. That's not the answer to this one.
What's the answer?
Okay, let me rephrase it for you. This is something that's found at the end of every rainbow.
What's that?
The letter W.
When?
W.
Why is that?
Just W's at the end of rainbow.
Oh, man.
All right, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to Paid and Passion. Remember to let your passion work for you.
That was good. I like that.
Thank you.
Shout out. That was good, bro.